First of all, and I said it when we were at the National Convention, and I started off with, we're a God and country organization, and we're not going to apologize for that, and we're not going to step back for that. I think it's so important for us as an organization to remember that and move forward in that direction. We just started off our meeting today with a prayer and with saluting the colors and with the pledge, and what a wonderful preamble we have. I was at FODPAL meeting this morning, and the exact very same thing. No matter where we are or what we do, we always set ourselves off in that right direction. I think we need to continue to do that. And I just want to touch on the 4 pillars of the organization and how we got to where we are, and some ways that I think we can go. And I want to touch on Americanism first of all, and we talk about baseball and all those glorious programs. But back in the old days, we used to pay a little closer attention to our immigrants, people that come to this country. And when I talk about immigration, I'm talking about legal immigration, and I think that's important. That's an important part of the building blocks of this nation. And illegal immigration continues to remain a concern of ours. That's a national security problem, and we'll continue to address that. But I think we need to reach out to those immigrants that are coming to this country and make sure that we bring them to full citizenship. And in this year, we're going, through the Americanism Division, we're going to reach out to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services and those field offices and those posts that have posts close to them. I want those posts in your departments to be in touch with them, partner up. And I know the judge don't like that word partner, but we're going to partner up and help them bring those people to that full citizenship, and I think that's so important. I call it a simulation of citizenship, and I want to move there. And we talk about our children and youth programs and how important that is. Important for those young men and women to understand where this nation come from, the heroes that you are, and what has taken place to make sure this is a great and wonderful country. And at the same time as they understand where we come from, where the nation comes from, we continue to provide that fabric, weave that fabric that makes this nation strong by them coming to that full citizenship also. National security, what a concern. 2 ways. In the news, 2 different things are happening. We have ISIS or ISIL, and how you could ever call that a state, I don't understand. There is no sitting down with that type of people, with those people who believe the way they do, the people that would lop off heads, that would strap explosive to their children and send them into populated areas to destroy more people. What negotiation, what part of our life could fit into their life? So that way must be destroyed. We support the president on what he's doing now. We wished he'd have been there before. We think there's more that's going to have to be done, but we certainly support the president on the way we're going. A concern is, where are all the bombs coming from? Well, we're providing those bombs through our readiness. We don't have money to wage this war. So what we're doing, we're dipping into our readiness reserves in order to do what we're doing today, which brings us to the second issue of national security. And that is those people in Washington, D.C. who believe that if we were a second-rate power, the rest of the world would like us better. It's not getting us very far. We can't go back to the days where it'd be all right to bring two people together and have them hold hands. It doesn't work. We must remain a strong power, and the American Legion will continue to fight for that. Since 2010, we have reduced our military spending by 20%. While we're engaged in a serious war, we continue to lose that focus, and that's got to stop. And then, of course, the last pillar of our organization, VA&R, and last year at the May meetings, past National Commander Dan Dellinger called for the resignation of the secretary, also for a couple of other secretaries. One of those happened. The other one hasn't happened yet, But it becomes more and more clear all the time that we're going to have to continue to push for her resignation also, because she's not on the same page that we are. We will continue to work on that. But when it first came out, we were concerned about what was going on in Phoenix, that 40 veterans may have died. Turned out they did die. But then as that all unfolded, not only was it Phoenix, it was all across the United States of America. At all of our VA facilities, there was an entrenchment within the VA that said it was all right to juggle the books and make everybody look good like the VA was running good, and who cared about health care? Not the VA. And so it was up to us as an organization to step forward and say, stop. And they certainly have, and we've done an excellent job in getting some of those things cured. Where's that Verna at? The workhorse of the organization in this whole effort, and I'd like to just recognize Verna. When I was in Washington, D.C. the last time, I mentioned to Peter, I said, you know, we might have to just lock her up for a while because we can't slow her down any other way. But she's done a wonderful job. The Veterans Crisis Centers that they operated reached out to over 3,000 veterans, got claims processed through, backed money, $1 million. Is $1 million a lot of money? Yes, it is. But that was money that those people were owed and had been owed for a long time, and there will be more money that goes forward. But those people were not being taken care of. And now, because of the American Legion, they are, and I think that's important. Now, I've talked to the Secretary. I wrote the letter to the President. The Secretary called me. I was on his speed dial. Anyway, and I've talked to the Secretary. I think the Secretary is earnest in taking care of this problem. I think he may not understand Washington, D.C. as well as he might think he does. And we'll see how that works out. But anyway, I feel that we're headed in the right direction with that now, and now our Veterans Crisis Centers are going to be known as Veterans Outreach Centers. We're going to continue to work, not partnership, with the with the VA and the Red Cross and get those things done. An issue for us is TBI and PTSD, and past National Commander Detweiler has chaired a task force to address that and look at that. When I was talking to the Secretary, he also has a large concern about that and would like to have a summit on that, and we'll certainly support him on that and be a part of it. While we were in Louisiana at the VA facility in New Orleans, the doctor there, Dr. Foreman, really seems to have a good direction to go with TBI and PTSD and counseling and suicide, and we're certainly going to be more in touch with her as we go along. So those are all the pillars. And I haven't mentioned membership, and I haven't mentioned fundraising. You've heard all those things before. We've got some new ideas, and we're going to move forward with both of those. But I do want to close up with one thing. You'll probably be hearing me say it more and more all the time. Last year we got started with 13,500 posts and more than Starbucks, right, Commander? Yeah, there was. So this year, a little thing happened to me and Dawn early. We were headed home from here to Nebraska for a little private homecoming, and we got stuck out in the Indianapolis airport for 8 hours. And by the time we got to Dallas-Fort Worth, it was getting dark, and by the time we flew out of there and into Grand Island, Nebraska, it really was dark. And we flew over that midsection of the United States. And as we flew over there and you looked out, it's pretty dark out there for the most part. There's not a lot of people out there. But as we flew along and as I looked out the window, I saw little clusters of light out there. And I knew that all those clusters of light were individual Legion posts, individual American Legion auxiliary units and sons of the American Legion in each one of those communities that were reaching out and serving their people in those communities. So as I flew along, I got to calling them little campfires of freedom, little campfires of service, campfires of community, campfires of reaching out. So they're out there, guys. gals. We need them. We need each one of those little campfires to burn just a little stronger this year. And it's going to be up to you as the great leaders of the organization to take that message back and move this organization forward. I think we're going to have a good meeting today. I just want to end with God bless America. God bless our American fighting men and women. And I guess most of all, for the next couple of days, God bless this NEC. Thank you very much.